everyone on three things: me, Camino de Vida, and Peru. Let's start with Peru. As a lot of you might know, we have been in mandatory quarantine. So what that looks like for us is we are only able to leave our apartment for the grocery store, for the pharmacy, and for the bank. But I also have a dog. I'm pointing this way because Cece's over there. With Cece, we are actually able to go outside. Not for very long, but we are able to go outside. So we've been under mandatory quarantine for 15 days now, I believe. The president of Peru has issued an extension of the mandatory quarantine as well as other stipulations. So I want to kind of go over that. We are now under mandatory quarantine until April 12th, which is Easter. We also have a curfew. You can't leave your house between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. Now it is between the hours of 6 p.m. and 5 a.m. It's kind of squeezing our days a little bit shorter. We have to carry around our cardnet, our identification. For myself, I'm a missionary, so I'm here under a visa, so I have a residency card, so I walk around with that. We have masks as well. In some districts it is required, in others it's not totally required, but the majority of people here are wearing them, so we do have them. We now have a military presence that is around various checkpoints, making sure everyone's kind of following the laws of the land. I just want to say that I'm really proud of Peru. I'm really proud of how quickly we've stepped up to protect our city, and protect our country. It's really inspiring to see that, you know, for our city that we're in, to give you perspective, we are in a city of 11 million people jam-packed into a small square footage. If for whatever reason the coronavirus were to really skyrocket, we would have a large number of casualties. Right now we are in, I believe we're around 1,000, hovering around there, out of 11 million people in the city and 30 million people in the country. And so that is a minuscule percentage of confirmed cases, not even deaths, confirmed cases. And so I applaud the Peruvian government, and even if it's been a little bit more stringent than others, it's definitely kept the spread of this virus at bay. A statistic that we've learned is that crime has decreased, which is incredible overall. What that also means is that domestic violence has more than doubled in homes. This kind of shadow side of this mandatory quarantine is that a number of people are afraid in their home. We really want to keep them in our prayers and our minds, to be aware that they're kind of walking their own battle for sure, and we want them to be covered in safety. Number two, I want to update you on Camino de Vida. Camino de Vida is the church that I work for. It's a wonderful, wonderful church. I'm blown away at how amazing they are. Although we're not able to congregate publicly or actually have a physical building, the church has pivoted perfectly and with such grace to actually include everyone and make it possible for the church and for a service or for community to be accessible to everybody. What that looks like is 3 days a week we have morning prayer live on Instagram or on various social media outlets. And that includes all of our pastoral staff praying for the country, praying for specific needs, praying for people that are walking through difficulties, that aren't able to pay their bills during this time, that don't even have food during this time, and all of that. We also have our young adult and youth groups that meet normally on Saturday nights. They're meeting at various times as well, but still on Saturday nights live on Instagram or live on our Camino de Vida YouTube page. I remember last week, it was amazing. I was watching the youth group. Our youth group is called Get Up. I was watching their live feed on Instagram. I just happened to pop on like maybe within the last 10 minutes or so. There was a guy that was doing the final prayer to see if anyone wanted to invite Jesus into their heart, and there were people saying yo, 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 which means I or me in Spanish. And so it was really super impacting to see that we're still making a difference. We're still spreading the good news, spreading the news that Jesus loves everyone, and it's phenomenal and it's amazing. It's interesting to see how everyone's kind of shifted in their lives to have a new normal and what that looks like. And what that looks like for me has been Zoom calls for meetings. I've had Spanish classes every week for 2 hours at a time, and I've really connected with my Spanish teacher, and she's amazing. Another amazing thing that Camino de Vida has done is we have partnered with our local government and of course the national government as well to get supplies to people that need them. So we have these neighborhoods and areas that are more impoverished. They aren't able to actually access some of the products that I might be able to. So for example, I'm able to walk to Wong, which is our local grocery store, but they might not be able to get there. And because we have this mandatory quarantine, they might not actually be able to feed their entire family or have, excuse me, or have supplies for basic needs. And so what's amazing is we have this thing called servolution. It's called servolution. It's this idea that we can be the hands and feet of Jesus. We can serve our city, we can serve our country in whatever the circumstance. And so we've been able to go out and partner with these municipalities and be able to get food. And there was 200 families one day, 90 families another day. And it was really amazing to watch those stories come in. And we're continuing to do that as well. We're partnering with more neighborhoods, with more local officials to say, hey, like, we're here to help. And we're trying to be there for those that are in need. And so it's been really amazing to see that happen. And 3, here's an update on me. This is a little awkward and funny and fun. I am doing great. It's been interesting to see the transition between having freedom and having some freedoms taken away. Yes, I'm still able to leave, like it's not this dire thing, but I remember I was at my favorite coffee shop. If you guys are ever in Peru, you guys have to go to this coffee shop in Miraflores. It's called Puku Puku. It's my favorite. It's amazing. It's fabulous. The ambiance is amazing and it's pet friendly. So just a side plug. I remember I was at Puku Puku with my friend Sarah, and we both were kind of getting all this information in about COVID-19 and the regulations that were happening in the States or in other countries, or like the high numbers and all of this stuff. We both kind of felt this, just like this weight just kind of sitting on our lungs, like, oh my gosh, someone's about to take my independence and someone's about to take something that's rightfully mine, or like, you know. And it was kind of this tug of, okay, we're about to enter into a new season, we're about to walk into history being made. So how are we gonna walk into that? Are we gonna walk into it with fear? Are we gonna walk into it with just being a downer every day, like, oh my gosh, this quarantine sucks, or oh my gosh, like, I'm not able to do XYZ, or I don't have, you know, whatever it may be. Like, what attitude are we gonna walk into this with? For myself, it's been eye-opening because I consider myself an extrovert, 100%. Like, at one point I was 100% extroverted. I took all the tests and they all said, okay, you're 100% extroverted. But in this last season, I felt the desire and the need and really the enjoyment in being introverted and in finding a lot of introspection. That's one thing about this lifestyle that I'm living as a missionary, is that it really creates opportunities for introspection and inner growth. And so this is just another opportunity for that. It's another hurdle to jump over, I guess you could say. I've learned in this process new things that I didn't realize that I was, you know, thinking or processing, good and bad, and it's been really interesting to walk through that. But to walk through it just behind closed doors, like walk through it with my roommate and walk through it with, you know, my friends and family that call me or text me or whatever, or just having, you know, perspective shift conversations that are really phenomenal. I've really enjoyed connecting with people more so than normal. Like, I've been, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just that everyone assumes everyone's at home, so you must not be doing anything. So everyone has been available and everyone's been able to call and contact each other, and it hasn't been this heavy, like, hey, I need to download my entire life to you in the next 2 hours. It's like, no, like, how are you doing? How's your day? Do you have 5 minutes? Okay, cool. If you have 2 minutes and a toddler, that works too. Like, I can work with that, no problem. But I think just having that reminder of, hey, even though we're not physically connected, I still want to connect, and like, I still can have community. And so for myself, I've really been grateful for that. I've also been grateful for the opportunity to kind of dig my hands into new creative outlets. I don't know if you can tell on my wall, I love kind of creative things, different mediums and that type of thing. For example, this is a photo of me and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but I did this on my phone. I didn't use Photoshop, I used like a funny app on my phone. So it's kind of raw, not the best. But anyway, things like that, I've enjoyed working with the struggle and like the learning curve with all of that. A side note as well, I don't know what it is. Someone telling me I can't go outside and work out, even though I wasn't working out in the first place, somehow makes me want to work out more. For the first week of this quarantine, I worked out almost every day. And then the second week I was like, that's enough, it's enough for me. And then I started up again today. So hopefully I can continue on with that. Oh, also, I almost forgot. I turned 26. My Christmas birthday was a good highlight. It was a good reset. We put up Christmas lights and it almost was like this little magical bubble that we had going on. And I really enjoyed it. It was a good break to literally feel like, okay, I'm not here forcefully. I'm here decidedly in this room with my roommate celebrating 26 years of life. And really reflecting on that and how amazing and wonderful it is that I've been given the opportunity to live in Peru and be given this great organization to work with, this amazing church and community to work with. So it was just really a really good day. I also wanted to share that although I am technically on staff at Camino de Vida, per Peruvian laws, I'm actually not able to earn a salary here. Per my residency, it doesn't work out that way. And so I am here 100% on support. It's all because of you. It's all because of the generosity of people like you that are behind me, behind my dream, but also behind doing what Camino de Vida is doing, and that's connecting with people, that's connecting with the local community, building up the country, not just getting a name out there for our church, but getting a name out there for the Lord. So with that, I just want to say a huge thank you to Camino de Vida, to the Peruvian government, and to you. I'm so thankful for people like you that connect with me, that remain invested in what I'm doing in my life, and that are just available and willing and ready to say, hey, like, I want good things to happen in this world. How can I help? So now that we're in this quarantine time, please reach out. Like, I would love to connect with you. I would love to connect with you personally about business, about creative things. Like, I'm a huge brainstormer. So contact me. I'm on Instagram. I'm kind of on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook. I have a website. All of it is encapsulated on my website. It's alanamj.com. So yeah, head over there. I have a lot of other information there too. I have previous blogs. Also the link to be able to support me will be there as well. If you want to know more about our ministry, if you want to know more about what I do on a daily basis, feel free to reach out. I might do a video on that as well, but again, we'll see. I don't want to get way too ahead of myself here. I'm really new to this whole video thing. So those are all my updates. This has been kind of fun to do this. This is Cece. Ciao for now.